Well, that was just a bad day at the office for the Boro. Last week on this channel, we spoke about them being wasteful against Swansea, still 1-0 winners. This week, wasteful again. This is going to stop them being promoted, isn't it? Well, to answer that question and plenty of others, we've got our Boro fans in attendance where the Boro walk. Welcome. Wasn't too much singing on the terraces following that game against Derby. Here to review that is Charlie and Rich. Good evening to you fellas. How are you?
Evening.
Evening, not too bad.
Good to see you back. This week we're also talking about central defenders, and we're also going to have a look at match day 3 as the Boro are back at home, and this time it's the visit of another newly promoted team in Portsmouth. So they can get the 3 points over this one. More on that in a second. First of all, Charlie, we'll start with you. Where did that all go wrong?
Same old, really. We had the same problems last season. We just can't seem to break teams down that just sit in. And it's just same old coming undone again.
We'll come on to some tweets that express that exact view in a second. It's a lot of them comment, Rich, about the low block and that teams that put in the low block. Carrick has no answer for it. Didn't have an answer for it last year. Hasn't so far found an answer for it this year. It's a coaching problem, this, isn't it?
I mean, Saturday's game was a weird one because it was just like watching Rotherham. The Rotherham game last season, Paul Warne did exactly the same when he was in charge of Rotherham against us. As far as Carrick goes, I did think we created chances on Saturday, to be fair. Their keeper made a couple of decent saves, which on another day, I was sat saying to people, if we get one here, we go on and win this. But we just same old, as Charlie said, it's just, we just cannot break them teams down.
Yeah, the Derby fans were delighted, of course, and had lots of messages for Steve Gibson at the end of that one. I'm sure you'll get your revenge later on in the season. Charlie, lots of people have said never play Jones again. It was such a bizarre place to pass back. It was nowhere near being a pass back situation, was it? I mean, you've played football.
I honestly don't understand what he's. I know he's trying to pass it back to the keeper, but anyone I've ever played football with in my life can make that back pass. And like, it's not even that. It's not as if he's really under pressure. Yeah, their man's closing him down, but like, he's got time. He could have even took a touch and passed it to Matt. I think it was Matt Clark next. There was so many things for him to do there, but it's just Isaiah Jones, isn't it? He just does it something different every week.
1 week we won't talk about him.
In a good light.
Rich, however, having said that, though, there were we have to put the scrutiny on your attackers, and so many chances. I think there was 20 shots to Derby's 3, something like that in terms of the statistics. And do I talk about Bergzorg yet? Okay, I'm gonna talk about Bergzorg because Huddersfield fans will want me to. Last year on our channel, we had Huddersfield fans week after week coming on, telling us this guy isn't good enough. He's selfish. He doesn't look up for the pass. He just wants to keep the ball himself. And I watched your game, or I watched the second half of it anyway, and I saw glimpses of that again. Is he a problem?
I don't think so. I've been quite impressed with what I've seen of him. I thought, especially even back at Leeds midweek, he linked up really, really well. He did everything he could on Saturday, denied by the post. And yeah, I think it was frustrating altogether. There was so many times where we could have released the pass a lot earlier than we did. The tempo just wasn't there. There was the extra touches needed. And I think the panic set into the players a bit, I think. Especially the more the game went on and we weren't breaking them down. I think they were too frightened to make a mistake at times.
Okay. I want to ask you to have a look at some of the comments that have been made. I think we've cleared most of them up. But here's rate my take for the Derby game. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant. We're useless against a low block. Charlie, this one, no creativity against a defensive team again. That's exactly what you said. We have to be better against these teams. These are needed points. Rich, there was a comment about playing at a snail's pace. Let Derby get back into their shape, try a long shot, rinse, repeat, and there's the never play Jones again. Rich, where do you stand on this snail's pace?
Yeah, it was. I do get the point, and there was more than one occasion on Saturday where there was players 3 on the right, on the left, and the players were taking the extra touches, and the ball was either going backwards or just 3 yards sideways to a different player. When if we just up that tempo a little bit, that's the only way you're going to get round teams like that, is to pull the block apart and go in down the wings and try something new.
Charlie, you're going to come up against this a lot in this league, especially at the Riverside, probably against Portsmouth this weekend. So what has he got to do differently in terms of formation, tactics or personnel to get over this stumbling block? Because this can't be a series of 1-1 draws, otherwise you aren't going up.
No, it's it must be really frustrating for him as well, because he must be just trying to figure something out as well. But I just think the things that maybe he's looking to changing about is I think in the transfer window, still with it being open, I think we need left back. I think Lucas Engel, I think he's a replacement at best. And I just think down that left-hand side, we're just so open, and there's just no, he's not committing runs. He's just Lucas Engel, right? I think he's a decent player, but I just, on Saturday when I was watching him, I was just thinking, you don't belong in a team that should be pushing for promotion. No chance. And that's the truth.
Yeah,
Lucas Engel's the one I'd take out at the weekend. But for who? Because we haven't got anyone.
Yes, good. That's my next question. Who comes in? All right, let's talk about Portsmouth then and get our Portsmouth fan on. Before we do, if you don't yet follow the channel, we'd love you to subscribe. But this week we are looking at a target of 25 likes on the video. If you could please, watching this, just push that little thumb button at the bottom there. It would mean the world to us. Charlie, Rich and the whole team are going to be with us the whole season, travelling up and down the country, and I mean up and down the country. As a Boro fan, well, certainly down the country anyway, the whole season, and we would love you to just drop us a like. 25 would be great. Right, it's time to focus on Pompey then, shall we? This is a Premier League, used to be a classic Premier League fixture, this one. Let's bring in our Pompey fan and get their view on all things Portsmouth. We have Sam, our international Pompey fan from across the pond. How are you, Sam?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Mark. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Okay, tell the Boro fans how impressive Pompey have been in the 3 games you've watched them against Leeds, Millwall, Luton.
Well, Leeds, we kind of rode our luck a little bit. First 20 minutes, Leeds hitting the bar 3-4 times, I think. Millwall didn't see anything going forward. And then Luton kind of just sat back after they got their keeper sent off at the weekend there. So, I mean, if you had offered us 2 points before the season started against those 2 teams, I would have taken it. So,
yeah, the fixture computer has been horrendous for Pompey. Away at Leeds, then home to a relegated Premiership time. Now away again at another side tip for promotion. You'll be glad to see the back of August, won't you, Pompey fans?
Yeah, and then next week we have Sunderland as well. So it doesn't
that's
get
an easy game, mate. Don't worry.
Doesn't get any easier. It's a long trip for Pompey fans to go up to Middlesbrough. But yeah, the fixture list has been pretty cruel to us to start the championship season off.
Yeah, where do you put Boro in your predictions for finishing the season?
Playoffs. Definitely they are a playoff caliber team. Even challenging for a top 2 there, I would say. Going off last season. I know they've had a dodgy start to the season this season, but yeah, they should comfortably make the playoffs for sure.
Okay. It was 100 years ago that this fixture first started, exactly 100 years ago. Charlie, do you see anything other than a Boro win this weekend?
I think I was a bit too confident going into Derby, so I might retract my confidence this week and say, I might say, to be honest, I genuinely think it's going to go one or two ways. We'll either win or we'll draw. That's all I can see now. I'll say a draw.
Okay. Unusually, Rich, Middlesbrough got a poor record at home against Pompey. 10 home games, there's only been one win. It usually does end up in a draw. Would you wouldn't take a draw now, Rich, would you?
I don't think we can. I do think it will be a draw, if I'm honest. I think we have to be going out all to win it. In my season predictions, if the teams come up, I had Pompey the one to be the stronger team. Really like their manager. Think he's done a fantastic job, and they've played some really good football. What I've seen of them at times, and I think they're like a hard-working underdog, and I think they will give us a game on Saturday. I genuinely do.
All right, Sam, who's the one player that Boro fans should watch out for?
Marlon Pack, if he can get on the ball and he can create, we call him the Pompey Pirlo, is what we call him. So,
let's get some score predictions. Charlie, you can have it this week.
I'm going to back the boys. I'm going to go 2-1 Boro.
Okay. You went
very tight game, though.
Yeah. Sam, you've been way off with these predictions, so let's see if you get this one.
I'm going to go 2-2.
I'll take that as a neutral. Absolutely, we will. Yeah, well, safe travels to all Pompey fans. How many are you bringing, Sam? Do we know? Is it a couple of thousand? Or?
Yeah, they got 2,000 for allocated seats. Hopefully, they'll give us a little bit more. But yeah, we'll be traveling in our forces again.
Absolutely. Enjoy your 5 a.m. coach to Middlesbrough. Cheers, Sam, for joining us. Thank you very much. Right. Thanks. Cheers. Let's have a chat then about central defenders before we let you go. And before we do, can you comment below? What is the best pairing of central defenders for Middlesbrough in all history? We want your comments in the comment section below. We'll ask these two for their response to that before we finish. Let's have a review of the current crop, though, before we do. Rich, I put it to you that you're a little bit light in this area.
We seem to be, especially Lenihan and Fry seem to be nowhere near first team ready yet, fitness-wise. So we are very low. I think Vandenberg is set to be a star over the coming seasons, and Matt Clark has been an absolute colossus at the start of this season. He's the one player out of all three games that I think takes a lot of credit. But I wouldn't be against bringing one more in just to sort of things up.
I always look at Matt Clark and can't believe he's 27. 27 years old. He's must have had a hard life. Charlie, do you expect there to be an incoming in this area?
I'd like to think so. Yeah, I'd like to think to bring another young lad in. Because obviously the person who's going to be coming in isn't going to be starting. Because I think it's pretty set that Matt Clark and Vandenberg, obviously no injuries, touch wood, them two are probably going to be our main men this season. And I think Dale Fry and Lenihan might struggle to get back in the team, even though I rate them both as well. But Matt Clark and Vandenberg haven't put a foot wrong really yet. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, some quick ones for you then. We haven't mentioned the Leeds results, which I thought one of you might have done by now. Rich, what did you learn about the Boro at Ellen Road?
Not to be scared, to be honest. We when I saw the team come out before the game, I was a little bit sceptical, I'll be honest. I was stuck in traffic trying to get to the stadium, and the team came out, and I was, but learning-wise is that we can do it, and I think the belief in the youngsters is what we need as a team, that we can go out. It wasn't our full-strength team by a long shot, but I thought we were superb second half, and it's one of the best away ends I've been in a long time, to be honest.
Yeah, you can actually only hear the Boro fans on TV, certainly in the last 40 minutes. Charlie, Tommy Conway signed officially then for you this week. Just another news. I think he only got 12 minutes or so, from my memory serves me right, against Derby. How did you find him in his cameo?
I don't think he really done much, but I just think that was the way that we were playing on the day. I just don't think we were creating many chances that were major chances anyways. We were creating, we were the better team on Saturday. We probably should have won, but obviously I didn't really see much of him. But I'm happy he signed another good option in case Latte gets injured, and then just hopefully he'll be able to come in and do what he can do.
Okay. All right, next week then on the channel, we are obviously going to review the Portsmouth game. We're also going to look ahead to the final game before the international break, and also talk about left backs and right backs as we complete our review of the Boro defensive line. Before we leave you then, come on then, Rich. The best central defensive partnership, not the two best centre-backs, but together, who's read the game best?
Ekiog and Southgate. The only two for me. They were absolutely. I mean, they were. I was only sort of youngish at the time, and it was just amazing to watch them. There was just nothing got past them, and Southgate's reading of the game was just second to none. And he had the big man next to him just to sort of mop up anything that.
Yeah, you wouldn't have won that League Cup, would you, without them two? I think it's probably fair to say. Was it 2004? 2004, I think, was it?
Yeah.
I'll test my own memory in here. Charlie, you're a little bit younger than Rich, I think.
I'd probably go Danny Ayala and Ben Gibson. But obviously I haven't seen a lot of the good ones.
Yeah. How old were you in 2004, Charlie?
Just been turning 3, I think.
Okay, fair enough. We'll let you off. I mean, missed that one. All right, fair dues. Right, cheers, fellas. Thanks very much. Enjoy the game against Pompey, and we will catch you next week. If you haven't yet done so, press that like button. We're looking for 25 likes this week. That's all we're asking for. We can produce this content for you every week. Cheers, fellas.